And welcome everyone to PSF1 in Qatar. We had a crazy restart of the lobby. I couldn't join first, but now I'm here to commentate the rest of this Qatar Grand Prix. Rhino leads with the hard tires, followed by Boss, followed by JM, followed by Jaime, Ligoat, Degri, William, Nander, Blockman, Dr. Dopri, Marsh, Joyous, Bronco, Shiznit, Krong, Chunk, Farmer, Chinis, Black Bala, and Luck are our 19 drivers today. Have a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane from the Alpha of Farmer. Now Rhino leads, followed by Boss in the Ferrari. In the medium tires, he should get past very soon. We will see if it will be now or when the DRS gets enabled. You have to remember Qatar is not the hardest track to overtake, so I think he could well make that move work. Seemed like a little glitch there, like little teleportation from one of the cars. Following Boss now, right at the back of the Ferrari of Rhino. He's gonna try and get that move done, but not sure when exactly. Probably gonna wait to the main straight. But if he tries now, that will mean he will have to waste some battery, so I think it might not be the ideal to try and go for the move now. Probably will have to wait till the next lap. We have a big DRS train till P12. You can see the pace here in this league is very close. Boss now took the lead of the race in the end. In the end of the main straight, Rhino now in second place. Will try and stick with the hards to the medium runner. Then he will have the advantage. Now the other question is it gonna be enough to make it a one-stop strategy, or are we gonna have some two-stopper? Because I know the tires here die very quickly. I guess this might even be the worst track for tire management in the whole game. I think even medium hard can be risky in some cases around here. So we will have to see if stick to the medium hard, hard medium, or they are gonna try a two-stopper, which could be medium medium hard, or maybe hard medium soft, or something like that. Some drivers have decided to go with the softs, like Blockman in P8 and Shiznit on P13. At the moment, Blockman sticking to the train, following Nander with the hard tires. There's not really, the tire difference is not really being shown at the moment because everyone is on the DRS train, very mixed up with the tire strategies. So at the moment, the hard runners will be the ones that will be the most benefited if the DRS doesn't break, because they'll have, of course, the better tires by the end of the race without losing time in this first stage of the race. Rhino, there goes, takes the lead once again in the main straight. Even the medium tires are not being enough to pull away, to build that gap against the hard runners. It's very easy to stick on this game to the back of another car, and Qatar is actually a track where it's not hard to stick. So probably gonna see Rhino getting better with his times in the coming laps, because the medium runners tires will start dying at some point. I predict probably around lap 8 the tires will stop working like they do right now, and that might be Rhino's time to try and push a little bit to break the DRS. Following Boss once again, following Rhino, and it's a big train now. It's a 14 car train. You see how close the gap is once again in this league. But the tire strategies are also very different. Everyone else out of the train has had an incident because they have had to make a stop, I think. Yeah, everyone out of the train has made a stop due to an incident in the first stages of the race. But, well, you never know when a safety car might come out, and we can have them back in the pack to fight for this race. Rhino leads, followed by Boss, but that lead won't last for long. There goes Boss in the main straight, and also the Aston Martin of Degri getting the move done against the Mercedes, and it's also, I think, Nander moving up a place against Jaime, and now the DRS is broken for this pack. Farmer gets now a 3-second time penalty. I think is, well, he's actually last in the race. So none of the 14 drivers in the train have penalties at the moment. We have Chinese, Locked and Farmer with a penalty at the moment, and well, Nander will now try and get back into the train. It's gonna be a bit difficult though, because the drivers ahead are on the medium tires. It's gonna have that little disadvantage. If he loses a train, if he doesn't get back to the DRS before the main straight, I think this could well be over for him, and he will start losing time and won't be able to catch back. And now he has a little chance. He's just 1 second behind. He needs those little 10s. He gets that 10 and is once again back in the DRS pack. Boss leading, followed by Rhino. Then comes JM in 3rd place of the race. Then comes Goat with very good pace, following the leading pack. Now it's once again gonna be Rhino is gonna attack Boss, and I can see, yeah, both Boss and Rhino have half the ERS. This track wastes a lot of ERS even when you're not using, so it's crucial to save as much as possible, because once you get it, once you have no more battery, it's gonna be very difficult to recharge it, and that can cost you a lot of positions in the main straight, because how powerful the DRS is, and you will lose a lot of straight line speed there, and will not be able, of course, to defend at all, nor to attack, of course. You know, Blockman is up to P7 of the race, and he has split the pack now by 2.2 seconds. So that means they are definitely not going to be having DRS in the next lap unless something crazy happens. So it's just now the 6-car train in the lead that will be battling it at this point of the race, because it's going to be very hard for Blockman, Jaime, Dopri, all this pack to close up to the leaders. Rhino leads, followed by Boss. This battle is going to continue once again. Not really, I can say a battle. They're just pulling each other in the main straight, just helping each other, working together to just build more pace, because there's no really point fighting for position at the moment. It's one overtakes, the other one will definitely overtake next lap, so would be just a waste of battery and tires. So there goes Boss once again getting the move done on Rhino, but Rhino is the one that's gonna have the advantage, because he is gonna have the fresh mediums by the end of the race. In my perspective, yeah, I think Rhino at the moment is looking like the favorite to win this race. But yeah, also the medium runners will get a good undercut on him. That would be interesting, but of course in this game the fresher and quicker compound of tires always makes a big difference. So even if Rhino loses the DRS when he comes out of his top, he will still be able to catch back for sure, because he'll have way better pace than the guys ahead at that point. Anyway, the train continues with the top 6 now down to P7. It's already 3.8 separating, no, suddenly 3.4. Crazy game, but yeah, Jaime now leads the second pack, the second DRS train. You have Blockman, who probably is already struggling on those soft tires. Those softs won't last a lot here in Qatar, so they're probably already around 40% degradation, if not more. Following now Jaime, who is already 6 tenths ahead of Blockman. You can see how he's already pulling away from him. Now into the exit of the final corner is going to be also the Mercedes of Dopri, who's going to be attacking Blockman here for P8 of the race. Blockman, will he try and defend? Not even Dopri's trying to attack. He's going to try and send a dive down the inside. He doesn't. Stays behind. Let's check the penalties quickly. It's a 3 second for Blockman now, and 5 second for Chinis. So he's going to be able to get that one removed in the pit lane. Farmer will also be able to get 1 5-second penalty removed. He's going to stay with 3 seconds, and yeah, Locked has the 6 seconds for track limit, so that will not be removed. There's a spinner now from the house of Chinis. In the lead, Rhino continues ahead of the pack, of the leading pack. Boss, Mr. Boss, right at the back of him. He will be definitely getting the move done once again into the next lap. And I gotta say that they have been saving a lot of battery. You can see now how Rhino, from having less than 50% now, is up to 75. Mr. Boss has 60%. He hasn't saved as much as Rhino, but still, he saved a decent amount to attack or defend. And also, with that saving at the moment, it's gonna be fine for when coming into the pit lane, because in the pit lane you recover around 20%. So you could well, if you keep like this, could well have full battery when you come out of your pit stop. The gap now between the first pack and the second pack is 4.5. Not many changes here in the leading pack. Now Blockman gets ahead of Jaime into turn 1, takes back his place. He's doing his best on those worn soft tires, but also gotta say he's picked up another penalty, and it's now 6 seconds for the Alpine. Sorry. Jaime now will be right at the back of the Alpine driver for next lap, but now he's somehow... Oh, there's a spinner there. I think that's Goat. Goat has lost it there. It's down now to P6, and now this has opened a gap between the top two, and this means now it's a 1.4. Oh, and that's Boss. Boss is off. Boss has spun it. What has happened there? Boss is off on his own, I think. Did he have an incident? I'm not sure, but he's sent flying there. He's not a normal spinner. He's way off into the gravel. I don't think that definitely wasn't normal. Something very strange happened there with Boss, and one of the candidates that was battling for the win of this race is now down to P40, and he spins again. He sends a massive spinner again, and it's in the wall. It's in the wall. Could that be a safety car? Maybe. No, it isn't. But he's broken the front wing, and yeah, he's now gonna need a miracle if he wants to get back into this race. Going now into the battle for the lead. Well, not lead anymore for P2. It's the both Alpha Tauris now making the move on the Aston Martins. It's a 2-3. No, not yet. It's also Degri battling against JM in the end of Sector 1 for that P3 of the race. Nander now is, I think he's also on the hards. Yeah, Nander is on the hard, so if he pushes a little bit, he could well be on for an attack against Rhino, but it's gonna be a bit tricky. He maybe will have to think about the undercut, or he can try help working with Dagri or JM with the DRS to try and catch up, because Rhino now doesn't have any DRS exchange he can do. He does have a lot of ERS to defend in any case, but the gap. Boss is out of the race. He's retired in the pit lane. Very unfortunate ending of this race for him, for a driver that was battling for the win till this point. Nander on a very good race for himself at the moment. He moved up, I think, from lower than P6 from the start of the race, and is now up to P2. But we will have to see if he has the enough pace to try and close up the gap to Rhino. He's now 1.702 second gap to the race leader. Rhino is looking now comfortable. He has way better battery than Nander. This could be Rhino's race in the bag if nothing weird happens from now on. But, well, actually, Nander has a card he can play, as I said before, and that will be the undercut, but he would have to make it at the precise moment, or a safety car, of course, which would be the game changer. Lap 11 of the race. Rhino leads, followed by Nander, then comes Degri, then comes JM, then comes Ligoat, and Jaime 5 seconds behind, still battling against Blockman, who... Has he picked up another penalty? No, he hasn't. He still has 6 second time penalties. Marsh in P8. Marsh is looking good, I think, as well. He's on the mediums, though. He's not going to have the later advantage like William will do. William will have a later advantage on this race, because he's going to be on the fresh mediums or even softs by the end of the race, but I don't think softs really can make it. Or at least I don't think it's the best option unless you have to stick to the DRS like Blockman is doing now with Jaime. And the gap between the top two is starting to grow. Now Rhino leads by 2.2. That's 2 temps more than previous lap. Here comes Degri right at the back of Nander. He's gonna try and get that one done. Around the outside he goes, not even putting any resistance to that one, and it's Degri up to P2 of the race. Can he try and do something better to chase up Rhino, or is it already decided that Rhino will stick up to that lead of the race? Blockman once again doing a very good job to stick up with Jaime and those medium tires. Actually, my prediction could be totally wrong about the medium hard. I think Blockman might even try a soft medium, because he's taking those softs. He's doing a mega stint on those soft tires, managing to stick with the medium runners. And I think he's gonna be able to stick for the DRS for one more lap. I mean, he's done nearly half the race on these tires. He can definitely make the rest on the mediums. Great strategy there by Blockman, and great tire management. He's making it work very well indeed. But he's now about to lose that DRS. Actually, he just has to survive one more sector in that DRS range. We will see if he managed to do it or not. 7 temps behind, 8 temps now. This part I think need a lot of grip. He's picked up another penalty. It's 9 seconds already for Blockman. He's coming into the pit lane. I think he could have tried and stick for one more lap. The mediums will be very bad by the end of the race by stopping now, and we don't know if he's gonna have someone to stick with or not. William now, other driver I have kept an eye on, because he is on the hard tires. He's probably gonna be able to make it up to P6 of this race. Not sure if he's gonna be able to make it any higher than that. Probably not, as how things look now. Degri 2.4 behind Rhino. I think the battle for the lead is already over, unless a safety car comes out, because I think he's already very far for an undercut as well. I mean, the undercut would work, yeah, but Rhino is gonna have way better tires then, and he's gonna probably blast past anyway. So Rhino in the lead, Degri in second place, Nander in third. It's gonna be the battle for the podium now between these four, but Nander and Degri, of course, will have the advantage because of the better tires they will have by the end of the race. Ligold trying to do his best to get past Jay. Meanwhile, Blockman is out on the hards. Actually, he's not decided to go fresh mediums. I thought he would go mediums. There's now retire from locked in the McLaren, retires in the pit lane, so there's no risk of a safety car. Rhino in the lead, Degri in second place, now 2.7 gap. Jaime is in the pit lane. He's definitely gonna be going hard. No other option he has to the end of the race. Nander and Degri fighting once again into turn one. And Goat and JM going side by side. Goat is out of ERS, banging wheels there into the second corner, and that's JM ahead. Goat in P5 of the race. Little screen freeze I'm getting there because of Lock leaving the lobby. Sorry, that's PS4 issues. Oh, and now, James has got a little bit wider, but Goat as well makes a little mistake. This could cost them the DRS against their teammates that are starting to build a little gap there. Just they need one more tenth and they will be out of DRS. But now JM is pushing a little bit harder. He's trying to stick to that DRS. Maybe also Nander's doing it on purpose so he can stick. I don't think Nander will sacrifice time for that. Even if he's his teammate, it would be a bit difficult on this high-speed track as well, and would cost a lot. So probably not. JM just pushing a little bit to stick back to the DRS. Marsh now into P6 of the race, nearly 8 seconds behind. Jay and Goat are in the pit lane. Are gonna go on the hard tires as well. Marsh is coming in the pit lane as well. William now stays out. No other option he could have opted for. Degri now takes P2 of the race. Nander down to P3. Rhino looking very comfortable to take the win of this Qatar Grand Prix. Meanwhile, the battle for the podium between these two is increasing lap after lap. It's gonna be a final lap move, I think, if the DRS isn't broken. But also, maybe Nander could try an undercut and maybe give Degri a little surprised because he's now the car behind. If Nander pits, then Degri will not be able to respond immediately, and Nander will be able to break that second gap due to the undercut. Tires will just be one lap fresher, might make a little difference by the end of the race, but could work well to build that, to break the DRS. Both have similar ERS conditions, though Degri has a little advantage on the ERS right now, so maybe Nander could think about pitting now and trying to make that undercut against Degri, and yes, he's doing. I don't know if he listened to me in the stream, probably not, but well, it's doing exactly what I said. He is going for that undercut, same as Rhino is trying to prevent the undercut. And Degri now stays out to take the lead of the race in lap 16, already past half the race. And now he is going to be undercutted. As I said before, he wasn't going to be able to respond by obvious reasons. And he will have to wait one more lap. The question is, what will the gap be between Nander and him when he comes out of the pit lane? You know, where is Nander going to come out? He's going to come behind his teammate. He's going to come ahead. He's going to come right behind. The good thing is they are teammates, so he's probably not going to have any problems in letting him go. But we got to remember he still has to warm up those tires. He's probably going to get him in the main straight. He's going to take some little bit of time to warm up those tires. And I think he won't have an issue keeping right at the back of his teammate. I also got to say, Jay managed to break that DRS gap with Goat. He just needs now Goat not to get to the back of Nander, which probably will not happen, because that would give him back that DRS and that battle would resume. Rhino 19 seconds behind Degri, not even need to worry about this because he is going to be in front anyway after Degri pits, unless there's a BSC right now, which might even make Degri take that lead of the race. Could well be, but it hasn't happened. Degri is staying out on track. He probably might want to try go soft or simply wants the fresher mediums. He knows he's been undercutted, so he's trying to go for a different strategy now. Jay is still ahead of Nander, but that's about to change in the main straight. Nander will easily get past his teammate and will retake, well, we'll take that third place of the race now, and probably will not be able to close up the gap to Rhino, but well, at least he's actually gained some time on Rhino. He was 3 seconds, if I'm not wrong, before the pit stop behind. Now he's 2.5. He's gained a little bit there. Still far from battling for the lead of the race. Rhino definitely seems to have better pace and has nearly full battery, so yeah, nothing to worry about there. I think Blockman's got his 4th penalty, which means 12-second penalties in this race. And he's managed to make that. Oh, he spun it. Blockman spun it right as I mentioned him. Goes into the gravel there. He managed to retake control of his car, but he's already down to P13 of the race. And those tires are probably not great after that spinner. Very unfortunate there for Blockman, though. His race was already pretty much ruined because of those 12 seconds of penalties, if it's not more. Yeah, it's just 12 seconds, but sorry to say this, but that can increase to come in the end of the race. He predicted it actually in the Discord chat. He said, I'm gonna be getting a lot of penalties today, and well, it's actually what's happened. So yeah, another great day for Blockman today in Qatar here. But I know he's gonna fight it, try and fight it to the end, no matter the position he finishes this race on. He will still be fighting till the final lap if he doesn't DNF by any other reason. He will still be there he'll do his best to finish this race. William now has set the fastest lap of the race. It's now close enough to be both Mercedes, and I think probably on better tires. Yes, definitely on better tires, fresher medium tires, and his rivals have the hards. He's now gonna try and chase both the Mercedes duo, but also the Mercedes drivers kind of work as teammates. Try and keep him behind. I think that's definitely a warning for Dupree. He was 4 wheels off the track, and I think he didn't lift, so that's probably a direct warning for the Mercedes driver. That's with him already right at the back of Dupree and Jaime. Jaime has the better rear rest of this pack. William has none, same as Dupri. Now Degri is coming into the pit lane. He's gonna try the softs. Probably will not be a great idea if he does. He's gonna have less fuel in the car, and that could make them work better, but still I think the mediums is the right call. He's still gonna have the freshest tires in the whole grid. But I think mediums will be the best decision, and I think he is. No, he's actually going softs. He wants to go the risky move. He wants to go for the risky strategy. Black Balla's got a 3-second time penalty, but he's down in P15 of the race. And there has been no as well, just a BSC at the beginning. Where is Degri coming out? He's gonna come right behind William. William is trying to get the move done on the Mercedes. He's trying to go around the outside. He's got the move done. The team strategy didn't work there. William's tires and ability were better than the Mercedes teamwork there, or maybe they could have done something better, I'm not sure, but that means William has now split the team and is now up to P6 of the race. We'll try now and get the other Mercedes. Probably will wait till the main straight. There he goes, also Degri getting the move done down the inside, gets the move done in the corner. Mega move there by the Aston Martin driver with the cold tires. Probably not that cold because the softs don't take much time to get a warm up, but still just on the outlap gets that move done against the Mercedes of Dupri. Now he's gonna break the DRS possibly, looks like. He's gonna try and go now for William. I think both drivers, both William and Degri, are gonna make a move on Jaime in the main straight. I think little Jaime can do here, but also William is now struggling with his battery. As I said before, he has no battery at all. By the other hand, Jaime has half his battery, and we'll try now to do something to defend. It's probably gonna be pointless. He's not gonna be able to do anything, most likely. There goes Degri down the inside, and he's gonna get both of them. Double move there by the Aston. Great job there by Degri. Great job getting that move done. There goes the McLaren off the road and is still behind Jaime. That's gonna cost him some time. That is definitely gonna cost him some time, and we'll have to wait for the next lap to try and get that one done again. Degri will definitely pull away and break that DRS, so he will have no more defense. Jaime into the next lap. There's a spinner there. I guess that's an Alpine, probably Black Balla. No, Black Balla's in the pit lane, so I guess it's Blockman. Yeah, it's Blockman off. Rhino leads the race, followed by Jay, followed by Nander. Nander and Jay just exchanging positions. Not sure if Nander is not trying to push, or if simply Jay has the pace to stick with him, even on the worst tire at the moment. And all of this is helping Rhino just escaping the lead. It's already 4 seconds to the AlphaTauri drivers. Goat, meanwhile, has lost it completely and is down to P4. He might not stay in that position, I guess. At least it's gonna be a 4-5 for the Aston Martin team. If there's someone that's gonna be battling for that podium in the Astons, it's gonna be Degri. If he manages to close up that gap. There goes William getting the move done against Jaime for P6 of the race. Jaime now right at the back of the McLaren, but probably will not be able to stick, or will he? I think he might do have the pace to do, but yeah, the penalties are definitely gonna make him finish this race behind him. Dupri has fallen down to P10 of the race. He's been overtaken by Bronco Box in P9. Marsh is another driver that will be catching up a lot of places because of penalties. The 4 drivers ahead of him have a time penalty. He has a bit fresher tires than 3 of them. So once again, let's check the time penalties. It's 3 seconds for most of the drivers in that pack, except from Joyous that has 6 seconds. Then Blockman's picked up 15 seconds of penalties. Is the driver that's been the most penalized today. He's definitely not being careful at all with track limits, and I think he doesn't even care anymore. You can see him caught in the corner once again. Chinis has retired in the pit lane. That's gonna be our 3rd DNF of the race and the 3rd consecutive in the pit lane as well. Here comes Joyous right at the back of Jaime. Is gonna be getting that overtake done in the main straight as Jaime got DRS to defend. No, he hasn't. There's gonna be Joyous getting that move done up into P7 of the race, but with the 6 seconds of penalties, if Jaime sticks to the back of him, he will be getting that place back by the end of the race. Meanwhile, Rhino in a league of his own is already 5.3 seconds. He's not even trying to push too much. Has better DRS than the AlphaTauris. And yeah, the gap will just keep increasing at this point. Probably the fastest lap will go to Degri because he's on the soft tires. Let's give a little look, but I think that's, yeah, was kind of obvious Degri was going to have the fastest lap. Degri's now get past Goat. He catch up very quickly to his teammates, so he is actually flying on track. Marsh picks up now a penalty that's gonna make it not possible for him to gain positions on penalty because he's now in the same conditions. Now everyone in the grid except the top 6 have a time penalty. It's crazy how much penalties people are picking up today because of the track. Yeah, it's due to the track, it's very easy to get penalties. And there goes Goat, sticking to the back of his teammate, not many he can really do. Degri will now have to try and catch those 3 seconds to the AlphaTauris, or expect them to pick up a time penalty, which could well happen as well. Rhino comfortably leading, and he's now build up another second on the AlphaTauris. It's now a 6.7 second gap. He is even aware of 2 time penalties for track limits, if that would be the case. Supposing he got a 6 second time penalty, he would still be clear from the AlphaTauris. So yeah, nothing can really take away the win from Rhino's hands. Only a safety car could, and even a safety car might not even be enough to make him lose this race. He looks very solid there in the lead, so would just need to be a catastrophe for him to lose this race, which probably will not happen anyway. Nander sticking right at the back of his teammate Blockman, another penalty, 18 seconds already. I think if you get 30 you get disqualified from the race, but I think it's very unlikely that will happen with just around 6 or 7 laps remaining on this Qatar Grand Prix. William trying to close up the gap. Goat get up 3 second time penalty now. This could be a little risk against William. He now just needs to catch up those, I think around 3 more seconds. Yeah, 3 seconds William needs to catch up to Goat, and he will be getting that P5 of the race. Now Degri is only 2.3 seconds behind to Nander and Jay. They will have to defend hardly against the Aston Martin driver. The strategy of Degri could end up working very well for him, but we will have to see, because that also has meant him having to use a lot of his battery to catch up. And at the same time, Nander and Jay, by working as a team, have been able to save some decent amount of battery. So they will be able to try and play DRS games to defend themselves from getting split by the Aston behind. Now Degri just 1.5 seconds behind Jay and Nander. This will be getting very interesting towards the end of the race. It's gonna be a 3-way battle for the podium. Lee Goat is probably already out of this because of the time penalty. Meanwhile, William has been overtaken by Joyous and is losing time against Goat now. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, he's lost the place against Joyous, and he's also lost probably his chance to get the place on Goat as well. Farmer is in the pit lane. He's looking for fresh softs. Definitely gonna try and go for the fastest lap of the race. There goes Nander up ahead of Jay, both exchanging positions but also losing battery. There's a yellow flag. I'm not sure why. There goes William once again getting the move done against Joy into P6 of the race. Both flashing, have wasted all their battery. Meanwhile, Rhino keeps being very comfortable in that lead of the race, followed by Nander, followed by Jay, followed by Degri, followed by Goat. Degri 1.5, 1.4 behind. Will be aiming to take that 2nd or 3rd place of the race. He's not going to be finishing any worse than P4 unless he makes a mistake. Even if the mistake was a time penalty, he would still be finishing P4. So little to lose for the Aston Martin driver. He's gonna go chase for that podium if he can, which still not sure if he will manage to or not. He hasn't closed up too much now, but he's now closing. Oh, that's Nander off! Nander is into the gravel and off! What happened there? I could just see I just catch it when he was going off the road, but that's... Did he make a mistake? Did he got touched by his teammate maybe? That's a very, very weird way of... Wow, what happened there? And now William is right at the back of him. He's gonna be getting the move done against Nander. Very unfortunate moment of the race there. Now the battle is open for P5. Williams got that move done against Nander. Nander should have the better pace. Both have the equal amount of tire age, but I think Nander has the better pace, as I said. So I think if he managed to play his cards correctly, he will be back in that P5 in the least. By the other hand, now Degri has free way to attack Jay for that second place of the race. Jay is doing a very good job in this stint. He was supposed to not be finishing on the podium because that was supposed to be for Nander and Degri, who should have had the better tire strategy, but in the end Jay managed to stick with those hards to Nander's fresher mediums, and now he might end up this race in P2 or in the worst P3. Also, Degri's tires could well die because already 7 lap old stuff. You have to remember how Blockman's tires weren't great by the end of his stint. He managed them maximum 11 laps. Degri is just 3 laps away from that, and we are coming to the end of the race already. Farmer, like, couldn't be other ways, got the fastest lap of the race, but Blockman could well take that one away from him. Blockman, well, what can I say, just simply had a terrible race with 21 seconds of penalties. William now battling against Joyous. William against Joyous there into turn 2. He's gonna try and stick the move around the outside. This is just gonna cost them time against Nander. Nander might be able to build the gap once again if he lets him go. He doesn't need to fight him if he still wants to have a chance to get to the back of Nander once again. Also gotta say, Nander tires might not be great after the visit to the gravel trap. So yeah, could those tires be a bit bad due to that? It wasn't a spinner exactly, so maybe not that bad if you had a spinner, but still going into the gravel could affect in some way the tires, in a negative way of course. Blockman now takes the fastest lap of the race. Rhino in the lead. He's gonna win this race. He's about to start the penultimate lap of the race. Lap 28 of 29. Comfortable victory for Rhino since Boss made the mistake in the first laps of the race. No one was able to challenge him for this race win. He just needs to take the car home at this point. Just take it easy for the remaining 2 laps of this race. Degri battling against Jay, and there's a ghost of Farmer because he's already been lapped by the Aston Martin driver. Williams still trying to do his best to stick to the back of Nander. He is gonna be having the DRS. We will see. He's just 5 tenths behind. And, well, we are actually in the penultimate lap, so this could be decisive. Will he overtake Nander in this lap or not? Because then Nander will have the DRS for the final lap, and he can try and retake. He needs to play his cards the correct way. He could easily just stick to the back of him if it wasn't by the fact that Joyous is right behind him. If he doesn't attack, Joyous has nothing to lose, so he probably will definitely go for that move into turn 1. So what will be the strategy now? Oh, and that's Joyous getting very close to the back of William. There goes Joyous, there goes William. William will have no other option but to get the move done against Nander. Will he? Or will he just try and live? He's probably gonna try his best to live and not let Joyous through. He's done it in a great manner there, but also Nander might well try to let him go so he will not have the DRS. Oh, there's a yellow flag. What is that? I'm not... Oh, it's Joyous. I think he's run out of fuel. Yeah, he's out of fuel. Joyous out of fuel in the final lap of the race. He didn't know that this track consumes a lot of fuel. And also this battle for P2 is getting very, very interesting because now it's Jay in second place, but Degri will now do his best to get our overtake done in the final straight. We are gonna go then on board with the winner of this race. Joyous got disqualified unfortunately because of parking in a dangerous location. Going on board with Rhino, the man that dominated this race after Mr. Boss made the mistake. Rhino wins the Qatar Grand Prix in great manner. Now Jay, I think, is pretty much safe from getting overtaken by Degri. Yeah, he will survive, and here goes William. Gets the move done on Nander. No, actually, Nander's let him through. William has fell for the trick there. He shouldn't have done that, or is he enough confident to stick into his place? He may do, and he does somehow. Massive moment there. I wasn't expecting William to survive. Nander let him through, and in some way, incredible way, because Nander had way more battery, he's managed to get the move on him, and it's gonna be William in P5, Nander in P6. Jaime will take P7, Bronco P8, Marsh P9, and Dupri. I think he will be the last one to get points today. Oh, he's run out of fuel, I think. No, he hasn't. And yeah, Dupri will be the last driver to take points today. In the end, Blockman managed to take 24 seconds of penalties like he predicted. It wasn't gonna be an easy race day for him. Blockman weaving there in the line. Just reading that Nander had an issue with his wheel. It disconnected, I think, and yeah, that's why the incident was so weird. Just disconnected wheel, and yeah, nothing you could do about it.